Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at the subreddit r/IDWHL, where people tell us their craziest stories on when they got mistaken for being an employee at somewhere they didn't work. If you're new around here, please do hit subscribe down below so that you never miss out on another video. But for now, let's sit back, relax and enjoy some Reddit stories. Karen mistakes me for a manager because of my headset. I thought with escaping retail 2 years ago, mostly unscathed, that I would never have to deal with a Karen. I was wrong. So this week, I actually get to be home for a few days. I am an over-the-road truck driver that runs a dedicated load every week across country, and nowhere near home. My co-driver, aka my dad, and I pretty much run 40 plus weeks out of the year and usually take a solid month off or so when we want to be home or go on vacation out of the country. Any other time, it is just a day or two here and there when we can just happen to get to town. But this time, we got to go home for a solid week. You know what that means? Home cooked meals. I love to cook, and so to do so, I needed fresh groceries. Stupid me decided to run to Walmart solo instead of the neighborhood grocery store down by my house, and boy do I regret that now. I actually enjoy Walmart much to everyone's shock. I am a former employee, you see, an ex-cashier, that according to my former co-workers, have an unshakable customer service persona that couldn't be wavered by 2 years of retail abuse. I actually rather liked the job being the people pleaser that I am, and I had quite a number of regulars and employees that I still like to chat with when I'm out shopping. This day, I'd finished with my catching up and had moved deeply into my hunt for the ingredients I needed for a new recipe I was eager to try. I was having trouble finding a certain spice among the variety before me when it happened. The classic Karen throat clearing. Full disclosure, I have no idea how long the woman I looked up to find glaring at me had been trying to get my attention. I had on my blue parrot headset that I usually wear when I'm driving, and at the time was using it to ironically listen to scary Walmart stories by a YouTuber while my eyes were scanning the shelves and checking the recipe list on my phone. Needless to say, I hadn't been looking for human interaction at that moment, but like the usual knee-jerk customer service persona, which is just me giving a polite smile and friendly eyes, kicked in, and I shifted my cart away from the shelves while also muting my phone. I'm sorry if I'm... Dumb Karen then speaks up. You shouldn't ignore a customer like that. It's so unprofessional. Honestly, why do they appoint barely teenagers to management? Dumb Karen scolds me a bit more, ranting about management meaning experience. But really, I only paid attention to the first thing she said to me. My mind had wandered of looking from her to down at myself. To credit, I was dressed nice, but not exactly what I call professional, with pastel pink capris, flouncy olive green blouse, and shiny metallic bronze flats. What can I say? I like dressing nice and colourful when I'm not at risk at getting diesel on my clothes. Dumb Karen was a middle-aged local classic pain in the behind, whose sense of fashion often hurt my eyes. This one looked like she had just rolled out of the trailer park, wearing a camo hoodie with pink, black workout pants that probably had never seen the inside of a gym, lime green running shoes, and bottle blonde hair done up in a ponytail pulled through the back of a very loved baseball cap. To complete the look, she had a huge Coach purse sitting in her buggy beside her. A bag even I know cost more than her entire outfit 3 times. Yeah, typical Karen for where I'm from. Listen, I don't work here. If you need help with something though, all you need to do is press that button and it will call someone for you. I gesture to a "Need help? Call" button located on a post about 2 paces behind me up the aisle. Usually, I won't mind helping someone who couldn't find something. I had former customers asking for my help all the time, and if I wasn't busy and they were nice or just elderly, I was a big hit with the elderly because I'm a sucker for little old ladies. So far, Dumb Karen wasn't any of those things, and she had a perfume on that was making my nose itch, so I was hoping to shoo her away. No such luck. Dumb Karen scowls at my suggestion. "Why are you lying? You work here. You've checked me out numerous times and I don't appreciate being lied to. The nerve." To be honest, I felt this mixture of confused resignation and completely dropped my smile and sighed. I'm only nice as I want to be. In truth, I have a resting witch face that makes me very unapproachable according to my best friends. Listen, I don't work here anymore and I'm in the middle of getting my own groceries, so let's just not. Turning back to the shelf of spices, I check my phone again before glancing over the selection, before finally finding what I needed. Just as I move to put it in my buggy and move along with my day, I get a sharp, nasty pain in the side of my head. I yelped, probably louder than necessary, but I was so caught off guard by the pain that I didn't care. Plus, I am very tender-headed. See, apparently, the dumb Karen was not happy with me and grabbed a hold of my headset and yanked it off my head. Unfortunately for me, I have very thick, very wavy hair that for some reason other people envy. Not me though, and especially not when the headrest of my headset tangled in my hair from the way she tried to snatch it off. And instead, she ended yanking and pulling out more than a few strands of my hair. Even with such a yank, she didn't manage to free it from my hair and just ended up dropping it, causing the headset to tangle further in my head and cause gravity to yank my hair mercilessly again. Most people would have stopped and apologized after realizing what they've done, not dumb Karen though. Don't you dare walk away from me! How dare you speak to me that way! I don't care if you're management now or what, you still work at Walmart, you're still not as important as me. Her last comment made me pause in the midst of me trying to free my hair from my headset, eyes watering, scalp throbbing. I always have hated how people look down at people working at Walmart. Majority of the cashiers and floor associates that I knew at this store were either students or were retired professionals, teachers, nurses, or office workers. Most of our older staff were just part-timers to have something to do. I was angry. I don't work here. Not this again, I told you. I don't work here. I don't work here. I don't work here. I don't work here. I just kept repeating myself, getting louder and louder until I was practically screaming at her, making her back away from me. Something I had learned early on as a child was that I was the last kind of person people expected to hear yell. I don't know if it's the way I look or just a vibe I give off. I don't know, but either way, I've learned to use it to my advantage to get people to back off. But the screaming also started to draw attention to us, as people started coming into the aisle, seeing what was happening. Among the people included, a Walmart employee I was familiar with, even though she started after I left, and my former manager. By the time they showed, I had finished screaming, and was now just glaring at the shell-shocked and probably embarrassed dumb Karen, who was red in the face. The Walmart employee speaks up. "What's going on here? Is someone hurt?" Dumb Karen points a finger at me first, as I'm catching my breath and have started fiddling with my hair again, trying to get it untangled. This girl went crazy when I tried to ask her where something is, and started screaming in my face and even swung at me. She needs to go to jail or at least be fired. By the end of her speech, big crocodile tears were streaming down her face, and one of the random customers who had come to watch was patting her shoulder and trying to console her. The Walmart employee and my former manager turned to me just as I finally get my headset free with a good clump of hair still wrapped around the headrest and look up, meeting their gazes. OP, are you alright? What happened? Why were you screaming? What's with all the hair? Former manager, bless her, didn't even wait for my response. I really wasn't in the state of mind to give one, as I tend to go mute when I get very upset. As she looked from my distraught face to my hands, still holding the headset and mess of hair hanging limply from it, before turning back to dumb Karen, who was quietly regaling some of the crowd with just how horrific I had been. Excuse me, but can you tell me what happened again, and also perhaps tell me why OP is holding a chunk of her hair? What about her hair? I told you, she attacked me. I'm the victim here. Are you believing her over me because she is your employee? That still doesn't answer her question. Did you pull out OP's hair? What kind of a person does that? The crowd begins to murmur, and dumb Karen obviously realizes she's losing the popular opinion. In the meantime, I'm starting to calm down and rub at my scalp, trying to dissipate the pain. Luckily, no blood. I was just asking her a question and she ignored me. I pulled off her headphones to get her to listen to me. It's not my fault she doesn't brush her hair. That's assault. Why would you ever put your hands on someone? And now you're telling everyone that she attacked you? What's the matter with you? I think it's time we called for the sheriff's department. Dumb Karen's eyes widened as she seemed to have come to the realization that she might have screwed with the wrong person. But as I've said before, I can be nice when I want to. I'm fine, just make her leave me alone. I don't want to spend one of my precious nights at home with a police officer unless he's buying me dinner. This made the crowd laugh. Are you sure, OP? No, but I have cold things to get home, a dinner to cook, and my dad's probably wondering what's taking so long. To that, my former manager nodded and forced dumb Karen to follow her while the crowd quickly dispersed and went back to their own shopping. The Walmart employee stayed with me and we chatted while I got the last few things I needed and went to checkout. Former manager came up to me after I finished paying and told me she'd had the woman banned from the store. To be honest, that really sucks for her because this is the only Walmart in this county, and the closest Walmart I know is over a 40-minute drive from where I live. Apparently though, I wasn't the first person she'd harassed here, although the others had been actual employees, and the security feed that she reviewed clearly showed the woman trying to snatch off my headset. My former manager tells me that if it had been her, she would have socked the woman in the mouth, which is really surprising because former manager was a former elementary school teacher who taught for close to 40 years before retiring and taking up the management position to stay active and supplement her income. Former manager has the patience of a saint, but says she won't have hesitated to backhand DK after I explained to her what dumb Karen had said to me. We chatted some more, laughed a bit, and then I went home. And don't think we're done there because there's an update. I take it back. I should have arrested her the first go around. This woman has made my nice peaceful week at home a freaking nightmare. Yes, I ran into dumb Karen again today, but this time at Lowe's. So the new cast is DK for dumb Karen, who didn't learn her lesson the first time, me for myself, AD for my awesome dad and boss, LE for Lowe's employee that I know, and LM for Lowe's manager who I am familiar with. So I decided to run another errand while I was at home for the week. This time it was to Lowe's to pick up some mulch for my dad's newly built raised flower beds and a few odds and ends like metal piping, spray paint and screws for a home project I decided to start. My dad is a few aisles over from me, picking up the spray paint, while I was looking at screws and chatting with the Lowe's employee for a few minutes about my cat. I own a Sphinx cat, a hairless cat named Pan, who will go with me anywhere if I let him. Since Lowe's is pet friendly, he usually tags along with me every trip and sits in the child seat without complaint the whole time. All of the staff here adore him and are constantly stopping me for a visit and chat. LE being the most often to visit because her section is right next to the main entrance. After Lowe's employee leaves to check her section, but not before promising to bring back some cat treats for Pan, I turn my attention back to the screws. I kid you not, mere seconds after Ellie leaves, I hear someone growl out, "You!" I turn around wide-eyed to find dumb Karen standing there behind her cart, glaring at me. Let me note before this exchange that I am wearing jean shorts, a red blouse with a bandana print, flip-flops, and my hair pulled up with a scrunchie. I was the definition of non-professional attire, and I certainly don't look like a Lowe's associate. "So, this is where you work." "Sorry?" "Oh, you will be sorry. Where is your manager? I demand you get him for me now. I want you fired after what you did to me the other day." I'll admit, I wasn't on my best game in this moment. It had been a long day. My dad and I had spent most of it out in the yard checking on the progress of the lawn. We had laid grass seed before we went back to work at the end of May, and also shoving soil into the raised flower beds. I was sun tired, and this woman had enough malice to knock the wind out of your sails. "I don't work here either, lady." "Liar! I saw you talking with your co-worker. No one talks that much with staff unless you're an employee. Now, get me your manager. Now!" Her comment really irritated me. By her logic, I should also work at the bank, the water company, the electric company, the Dollar General, Witt's Barbecue, the Pilot, and pretty much everywhere else that I run errands in town. Especially the places I take Pan. He's such a well-behaved baby, and an easement for people to approach me and strike up conversation. Plus, I really do enjoy talking with people. This woman acted like anyone working or making a living was beneath her. It disgusted me. "Are you deaf? I don't work here, and the Lowe's employee and I were just talking about my baby here." "Baby?" Confused, DK peeks around me at Pan, sitting there doing his best yoga pose with back leg thrown high in the air, while he cleaned his leg. Dumb Karen shrieks, making me step back into the shelves because darn, I was not expecting that. Meanwhile, Pan doesn't even acknowledge her. He's too busy cleaning and used to loud noises from living on a truck. "What is that hideous creature?" Whoa, hang on a minute. How dare you bring that disgusting thing in a store? It's a naked rat. "It's my cat, you idiot." I actually think the woman was getting ready to throw something at me and or Pan if Lowe's employee didn't appear coming up the aisle followed by my dad. "Ma'am, would you please calm down? OP, what's going on? This girl brought a disgusting creature into this store. Get me a manager. I want her fired and banned." Disgusting? Fired? "Ma'am, this is a pet-friendly store, and Pan Pan is a welcome guest. He may be unusual looking, but he is a very good fur baby." "That thing is an abomination. What if children saw it? It's licking its junk." Well, that was true. Pan had moved further south and was cleaning, and was still completely oblivious to the crazy lady. While Lowe's employee was defending my little Pan's honor, my dad nudged me to get my attention. "What the hell's going on with this woman?" "Remember that stupid woman I told you about that thought I still worked at Walmart? The one that pulled out your hair when she tried to snatch off your headset?" "Uh-huh." And that's when my dad's eyes went from mildly annoyed to very, very angry. I wish there was an analogy for dads like there is for mums. You know, tiger mum or mama bear. My dad really deserves one, especially when he's upset on my behalf. My dad has a big heart and is a surrogate dad to any and all who need one, but biologically, I am his only child. I am his #1 priority, and dumb Karen dared to mess with me. Tell the Lowe's employee to get her manager. He steps forward, calling for dumb Karen's attention, who is still ranting about Pan. Another bad move on her part because my dad refers to him as his grandbaby. I am OP's boss. What exactly did she do to you? Dumb Karen gets this smug grin on her face for a minute as she looks from the Lowe's employee to me and then back to my dad. It's then that her face twists into this stricken expression as she recounts to my dad how I harassed her in Walmart a couple of days ago and got her thrown out of the store because I was friends with management, and how I had spotted her today and started threatening her and taunting her and yelling at her to get out of the store. Jeez, this woman had a screw loose. I managed to mumble to the Lowe's employee to go fetch the manager towards the beginning of her story, and Lowe's employee scurried off, coming back fairly quickly with her manager in tow, just as dumb Karen was demanding my dad to kick me out, and how she couldn't believe employees acted like this and brought ugly animals to their place of work. The Lowe's manager stepped up looking around at our little group, slightly confused. Apparently, Lowe's employee had only told him that a customer was harassing another customer and to hurry. I'm the shift manager. What seems to be the problem here? Yeah, sorry to bother you, but this woman came up and started screaming at my daughter. She assaulted her in the Walmart on Friday and got banned from the store. Now, she seems to think she can get my daughter banned from here in return, so she's making up wild accusations. Dumb Karen's jaw drops at my dad's calm, albeit stern explanation, as she looks between me and him. I don't know how she didn't realize he was my dad. I bear a striking resemblance to him, although most people say we look most alike when we smile, and we weren't smiling right now. Your daughter? I thought you said you were her manager. No, I said I was her boss, which I am. She does not work here or at Walmart. You... Dumb Karen made a strangled sound in her throat. Her face turned almost purple in shade. Whatever she wanted to say, I guess words couldn't convey. Because suddenly, she launched herself at us, arms raised, fingers curled like claws, ready to scratch our eyes out. My dad was too quick for her though, as he shoved me out of the way and sidestepped her, causing dumb Karen to run full force into the shelf behind us. She's lucky the lower drawers kept her from impaling herself in the eye with hanging rags. Judging by her screams though, I'm pretty sure she scratched the hell out of her arms though, as she fell back onto the floor not too gently. Dumb Karen began shouting assault and for help, and of course the police. She got her wish. Lowe's manager radioed for security, and in less than a minute, 2 guys were hauling a screeching and cursing dumb Karen up and marching her towards the front of the store. The police were called, and what should have been a 30-minute shopping trip turned into an hour-and-a-half long ordeal of speaking with the multiple managers, giving our statements to the police, watching dumb Karen lose it on the police, and having to be tasered in order to be handcuffed, and agreeing that this time, yes, I wanted to press charges. They took security tapes, and I gave them the name of my former manager from Walmart to contact confirming the earlier incident, as well as seeing about getting their security tapes as well. We then finally got to pay for our stuff. Lowe's manager insisting on giving us 10% off our final purchase price for all the trouble. Plus, he knew from working with us in the past just how much we'd spent at this store in the last year, while we've been landscaping my dad's new property. That made my dad very happy, and he spent the last couple of hours calling up all his buddies and telling them about the lunatic at Lowe's and how he got a discount. He's a simple person to please. I wish he wouldn't have told his wife though, because she got very upset and worried about us. It's her normal state, and demanded for us to leave the rest of the yard work and my project until tomorrow, and to just relax for the rest of the night. We obliged her, and I'm taking part of my resting time to write this update. I'm so shocked by this woman. I have never been spoken to by a stranger like this outside of my stint doing retail. Is this just how some people are? God, I hope she gets help. She won't be finding it at Lowe's though, because we were assured that Dumb Karen was banned from there as well. And as a side note, Lowe's is also the only home improvement store in our county. The next available one is a Home Depot around a 30-minute drive up the interstate. Sucks to be her. Well, I really hope you weren't doing much because that was just a 30-minute story, oh my goodness. I do want to point out one thing though, I'm really glad she pressed charges and I'm really glad she got tased at the end. I don't know why, but I just find that really good. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now, or check out the playlist down below. If you enjoyed that video, then please do leave a like. And if you want to submit your own stories, then you can do so by joining the Discord in the top link in the description. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.